Hey, Kyle here. Um, this is going to be my very first Transformers review. I have finally decided to pick a Transformer and do it. And as per the title, I will be doing my second favorite Transformer from the movie, from the first movie, aside from Frenzy. Frenzy's my most favorite. I love Frenzy. Too bad they came out with crappy toys on. We will be doing Bonecrusher. Movie Bonecrusher. This is actually my first movie toy. I think it was my first movie toy. Was it my first movie toy? What was my first movie toy? Oh, this is my first movie toy. Yeah. He's a Bonecrusher is a minesweeper. He has this. Apparently, there's this hook. Originally, the hook was supposed to be like really wide, but then they had to shorten it because the actual hook was fairly thin, and they use it to, and they drag it in the sand. It basically goes up to here in sand, and it drives through, and it basically triggers the mines. And it's technically, maybe you would have soldiers in here, and you would just bring this forward and dig it into the ground and drive. You would pretty much be safe from any landmines, because any that you run into would just explode before you even rolled over it. And even though, quite sadly, I hope he comes back in the second one, but I think that's unconfirmed, because Optimus Prime very epically, that's my little word for saying it, very epically grabs his Energon sword, holds him down, rips it into his neck, and tears his head off, which is probably the most Transformersly gruesome moment in the movie. Frenzy getting his head blown off is actually quite funny. And I'm just gonna go in to transforming him. The first thing I do to transform is there's these panels on the side, and there's these little grooves. You just stick your nail in there, and it pops them out. This is supposed to free up the legs so you can flip them around. And sometimes I have trouble getting them out. And then you just flip this around to keep it out of the way. And then there's these hooks in the wheel well. You just pop them out and bring them down to the side like so. So that they're pretty much, it sort of looks like makes it look a little faster. Like maybe a 10-ton vehicle is supposed to be fast. And there's his head down here. Pop that towards the front of the car, and his head will pop up. And then what I do is I bring the entire back end, basically the bed of the vehicle, and bring this all the way back. And then bring these panels on the side up, and then rip the entire thing. Well, don't rip the entire thing, but I think I did something wrong, didn't I? Oh. I haven't transformed this guy in a while. The tires on the very front, you pull them out to the side, basically to where if you're holding it like this, it would be upright, and then you can split the arms apart and bring them back, and pretty much you got pretty much the majority of the arms done. And with the legs, which is the bottom portion of the car, you simply flip them around to where those spare wheels, those wheels that don't turn, basically come together to make the hips. And then you just rotate the legs around, spread his feet out a little bit. That's the one thing I don't like about the feet, is because sometimes it's really hard to stand them up, because sometimes the table will catch the wheels and it'll slide around. Originally they had the wheels because he sees him sliding down the highway and slamming into the bus, which is really cool. Sadly, if that was actually real, a lot of people would be dead. And what's cool about this is that it's on gears, so when you push this down, or when you push it up, it comes down, and when it's sort of like that, you can fold the prongs up, and it's sort of like it very nicely folds up on his back. And then the last thing is to fold his hands out. And there you have movie Bonecrusher in all of his beheaded glory. He's a very nice little figure. There is his gimmick, which he can bring this thing here over, and when you pull this back, it's sort of like a gripping claw. It sort of goes all over the place, but I sort of see it. Sometimes I see it as a sort of like an energon disc launcher. I sort of like to be creative with these. You point it this way, it's like it shoots like a giant disc out, or it sort of like shoots out like electricity or something. But how do I fold this thing up again? Oh, I can't fold it. Oh, and also the thing comes off. That's why I don't usually mess with the back piece with the claw, because it falls off. And there is a fan gimmick I do. One more gimmick before I do the fan gimmick. He stretches his arms out, so now he can grab your ass 10 feet. He can basically grab your ass from across the room now with these super long arms. And then there's a fan gimmick that I do. You fold this in, you fold his hand in, you bring the bed forward and bring this down, and I sort of see this as like a giant cannon. I like to be creative with my Transformers. I like to make new weapons using transformation, and it seemed to work out very well. If they still sell this in stores, I don't think they sell this in stores anymore. I think they might have took it off the shelves to make room for the second wave, for the new movie line. Yes, I have seen some of the new movie toys at Walmart. They have a lot, but the only three that I've seen is one of the Constructicons, the new Bumblebee, and I think Sideswipe. And then they had a bunch of movie scouts. I don't know if they're going to be a movie. They had like Dirt Boss. I want to get Dirt Boss. Even though he's little, he's a cool little forklift. What else is there that they had? They had the new Starscream. It has like he's the jet with all the Cybertron engravings on his hull. And then there's a new Optimus. And they had a simplified version of Jetfire, which I don't think the actual version, the true movie, like sort of like this, has come out yet. I don't know, because I haven't seen it in the store. I'd highly suggest getting him. You might be able to get him off the internet or something. He's very cool. I give him I'm going to do what Biker Trash does and give it a thing. I'd give him a 7 out of 10. Reason I didn't give him any higher is because the claw is sort of, it stays on there, but it's kind of weird to use, because you can have it like this, but it's all wonky looking. I just like to keep it folded on his back. Sometimes I might like use it like his wings, like fold them out like wings or something. It looks a little corny, but everything else is perfect. Oh, also it's the feet. I'm going to wrap this up. This is Kyle Likes Pie 665 and Bonecrusher signing out, and see ya.